the Ys games have eluded me for some time now. The JRPG series has the type of action combat that I love and receives great reviews, but I just never got around to playing one past the first couple of hours. When I got to hear more about Ys 9 Monstrum Nox at a NISA digital event last year, I was ready to make 2021 the year I got into it, and I'm glad I did. Everyone's favourite adventurer Adolf finds himself in a spot of bother when visiting the prison city of Balduck. After being arrested almost immediately for dubious reasons, Adolf starts his quest by having to escape a highly secure prison. It doesn't take long for him to get out, but when a mysterious woman shoots him at the exit, he gains otherworldly powers and is cursed to stay within the city walls. Fortunately for newcomers to the series, the Ys games are fairly self-contained, so you won't really need any knowledge of Adolf's previous antics to enjoy the story. It turns out that he has become a monstrum, and there are 6 of these superhumans trapped in Balduck, and the fuzz have been spreading rumours about them being dangerous criminals. As you're trying to break the curse, you'll meet up and make friends with all the other monstrums, all while getting embroiled in the corruption at the heart of the city's security forces. Each of the monstrums has their own quirky character, and before long you'll have your favourites that stay in your party. There's the overly aggressive Hawk who constantly gets into scraps, the powerhouse that is Raging Bull, and even a doll brought to life by magic. Alongside the other unlikely heroes, you'll make plenty of other allies who inhabit your secret base of operations. I really enjoyed getting to know all the larger-than-life characters, especially thanks to an excellent English dub, with the exception of a particularly embarrassing gay stereotype. From start to finish, I really enjoyed the action-based combat of Ys 9. There are no random encounters to speak of, just enemies littering hallways or portals that reveal nasties from another dimension. Fighting enemies is a fast-paced affair too, with flashy attacks, dodge rolls and guarding. Hitting regular attacks builds up SP for your skills, which deal way more damage and can be chained together if you've got the meter for it. All the other RPG combat elements you'd expect to hear too. Status effects, staggering enemies and a powerful burst mode that ends with a ridiculous final attack all make a welcome appearance. Everyone in your party works together in combat and can be set to be aggressive or defensive. At the push of a button, you can also play as one of the other monstrums, and if you prefer, can spend the entire game as someone other than Adolf. Everyone plays in a fairly similar fashion, but it's nice to find a character with skills that work for you and stick with them. I spent almost the entire game playing as White Cat, and by the end of the game she felt like the main character to me. With every monstrum you bring into the fold, you'll get a new ability to aid you in navigating the city. Balduck is a huge open area with a ton of verticality, missions and secrets to discover, and these powers are necessary to get around. Being able to run at walls and glide around, for example, makes investigating every nook and cranny a joy. Ys 9 is divided into chapters that generally break up into the same activities. First you'll need to complete some side missions to activate a miasma vortex, then you'll beat the vortex to open up a new area, and then you can get on with the story. Although the side quests are fairly enjoyable, it was sometimes a little bit annoying to have your progress gated until you beat enough of them, and the miasmas also have a minimum level requirement you need to meet to start them. Miasma vortexes present a totally different challenge to the rest of the game though. They're essentially tower defense, with monsters charging towards a large crystal that you need to guard with some upgradable defenses and the help of all 6 monstrums. It's a fun change of pace from standard combat, and if you do a good job, you'll be rewarded with a ton of loot based on your score. There are a lot of moving parts in Ys 9, and forgetting about levelling up or upgrading one will make things difficult for you. Standard things like upgrading weapons and buying armour is simple enough, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. You'll need to upgrade your vortex defences, cook meals for buffs, use items that increase base stats, and even report landmarks and graffiti you find in the city to different NPCs. I appreciate how much there is to do in Monstrum Nox, but it can be pretty overwhelming. Each chapter ends with a section where you control a character who I won't name here for spoiler reasons, but this person has no abilities to speak of, and playing as them quickly becomes a bit of a chore. These sections are narrative heavy with a few irritating trap-filled areas to navigate, and I was disappointed every time one began. Ys 9 is a lovely looking game though, with Balduck itself standing out as a grand feat of architectural design. Unfortunately, when whizzing around the city with your powers, there's some noticeable slowdown which can distract a little bit from the spectacle. Also, since much of the game sees you finding secret passages surrounding the prison, the hallways and tunnels you find yourself in are often a little bland looking. Ys 9 Monstrum Nox is a really enjoyable RPG with frenetic combat that never seems to get old. There's so much to do in the city of Balduck, and exploring it with your monstrum powers is a blast. There are some technical issues in open areas, and a few sections are less exciting than others, but it's hard to turn your nose up at the amount of quality content there is to sink your teeth into in Adol's latest adventure, and for that reason we're going to score it 8 out of 10. Hello there, Mick Fraser here. I hope you enjoyed Lyle Carr's review of East 9 Monstrum Nox, which is coming to PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch. If you did enjoy the video, please hit like and subscribe, maybe tag that bell icon too so you're kept up to date with all the reviews, previews, videos, unboxings and general chats and podcasts that we post on a given day. And if you want to support us via Patreon, you can check that out too. We really appreciate everything that you guys do for us. In the meantime, I've been Mick Fraser, that was Lyle Carr's review of East 9 Monstrum Nox, and you guys have been lovely. Bye.